So, what is a value? A value reflects what we find most important in life. So, it's the things we want to do more of, and it's the direction we want to go in life. There's a few things I find very helpful when looking at values. The first one is we don't have to be certain about our values. We can simply try out values and see where they take us. Values are modifiable, so I wouldn't approach it as finding your passion or the one thing that's gonna transform your life. Values can be about very simple actions. So the second thing to keep in mind is that a value needs to add to your life. Because we've often treated ourselves as problems, we're used to looking at subtracting things from our life, but a value really needs to be focused on what you want to add. And the third thing is that values are about actions. So really translate the values into valued actions because we really need to change those actions we're doing. Let's say we value connecting to others. Just identifying that will make it difficult to make changes because how do we connect to others? It's kind of vague. So, for example, you might identify a valued action as I will go to at least one social event a month, or at least once a week, I will invite a friend over. Of course, cutting out unhelpful behavior, also known as compulsions, is still very important. When we start to uh, go in a valued direction, we'll probably run into lots of uncertainty, lots of uncomfortable feelings, thoughts, and there we can see which unhelpful behavior, which compulsions we do to try to get rid of those thoughts, try to get rid of those feelings, or try to control those feelings. And that gives us the opportunity to cut out those compulsions whilst going into a valued direction. Even when cutting out compulsions, it's very important that we still look at what we want to add. So for example, maybe you want to cut out scrolling on your phone in the morning. Just setting a goal of not doing that is going to make it very difficult to stick to it. Instead, we can connect it to a value. Let's say we want to be more active. Then we can say, instead of grabbing my phone first thing in the morning, I will go outside and go for a walk. Okay, so let's look at some more examples of how a values-based approach would look like. Lots of people value their health, but lots of people treat themselves as a problem here. So instead of restricting your diet to look a certain way or to have a specific number on the scale, it's way more enjoyable to look at what you want to build and grow. So let's say you want to build more endurance or more strength, or maybe you want to learn a new skill. And when we have identified those things we want to build, we can look at how can we eat to fuel our training or to just fuel living our lives. Some specific valued actions here might look like I do cardio training or I cook a healthy meal. So another example, and this is something I'm doing in my life right now. I value being kind to myself, and this is something I haven't really been doing, so it's really new to me. So I need to be specific. How do I give kindness to myself? So the main direction I'm exploring now is meditation, and this is really a moment where I can just be with myself and give care and attention to myself. So the specific valued action here is I meditate. So when we've identified these actions, it is very important that we commit to them. I explained how values are modifiable, but we do have to give them some time to see where they take us. And especially when we're first starting out, it's going to be very difficult to change our old behaviors and to add a new habit. So, for example, with meditating, I would always look at my schedule for the week and plan out on which days I wanted to meditate. This is something I still do, but right now, because it's really enjoyable for me, it's very easy to do. The fun thing about this system is that it benefits everyone. So even if you don't see yourself as struggling with your mental health, it can still be very enjoyable to just look at the things you find important in life and write out some actions you are going to do. And also, we're all human, we all have a brain, so we all have our mental health to take care of.
Alright, so we'll wrap things up. A value represents what you care about in life. It's the direction you want to move towards. A few things that are helpful to keep in mind are that you don't have to be certain about your values. They are modifiable. The second thing is that your values need to add to your life and not subtract from it. And the third thing, and this is the most important thing, translate your values into valued actions so you know which actions you're going to practice. So, if you want to find some exercises to work on your values, I suggest you look up ACT. So, ACT stands for Acceptance and Commitment Therapy, and a lot of the concepts we cover in these videos will be related to ACT, so you can find multiple exercises on values online. One I really like is the following. So let's say you didn't have any mental health struggles, so the things you struggle with right now are completely gone. There's no fears, no worries. What is it then that you would like to be doing with your life?